The following portion of Daytime is sponsored by United Way Suncoast.
As we get closer to the official start of hurricane season, United Way Suncoast is stepping up its efforts to promote disaster resiliency. And here to tell us more are the group's CEO, Jessica Muroff, and the Disaster Resilience Officer, Heather Koester. Ladies, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Jessica, let's start with you and why disaster resiliency and recovery are so important at United Way Suncoast.
This has been a core focus of United Way since our founding in 1924. We always have been there to help our communities recover, mid to long-term recovery efforts after any disaster we may face. And we've faced 5 hurricanes, a pandemic, lots of things over these last few years.
What do you do, Heather, in your role as Disaster Resilience Officer?
Well, as the Disaster Resilience Officer, along with my amazing colleague Brianne, and the incredible staff at United Way Suncoast, we led the development of the Disaster Resilience Guide. And the Disaster Resilience Guide is created to strengthen organizations' preparedness, but also our communities, and encourage them to proactively start their preparedness efforts. So creating that Disaster Resilience Guide is developed for those 2 purposes. But we were able to realize that because of the different iterations that we've needed to make from the learnings from the multiple storms, we now have those disaster resilience guides being adjusted, and all of that can be found on the website. So in addition to the disaster resilient guide work that we've done, we also are working on being the convener and collaborator in the counties that we serve to help with that disaster resiliency and the disaster recovery efforts.
That leads me to a question that I have for Jessica, because I know that obviously as we enter hurricane season, preparedness is the focus. But to Heather's point, you also have to be mindful of the people who are still bouncing back from the storms that we had last hurricane season. So what do you do to help them?
Yeah, I mean, these storms come through. We're not recovering a week from now, a month from now. We're in this for years, and that's where the focus of United Way Suncoast is, in that mid to long-term recovery. We've already invested $1.2 million with our nonprofit partners to help individuals and families across our region recover from these storms. And now, thanks to a grant from Verizon, we're also doing some disaster preparedness. So we are doing some resource coordination, like Heather mentioned, really learning a lot from the previous storms and how to be better prepared and better responsive. Community workshops to help others with those tools and resources, and emergency kits so that we can distribute those in our communities.
Tell us more, Heather, about the grant that you received to support these efforts.
Well, the grant extends Verizon's commitment to preparedness. So many people understand that they play this critical communications role by releasing the drones and the hotspots and the Wi-Fi distribution that our emergency responders use, but it also helps our communities in disaster. But what we've really realized is preparedness is the key. And that is what we'll be utilizing this grant for, is to prepare the counties that we serve and to assist them with becoming disaster resilient. Because if we can get people to understand we need to be prepared now, not when the storm is coming. It's just the key to our preparedness focus.
Thank you so much, Heather, Jessica. Appreciate your time today. And if you'd like more information about these disaster resiliency efforts, visit unitedwaysuncoast.org. Daytime will be right back.
The preceding portion of Daytime was sponsored by United Way Suncoast.